What's up, guys? In this video I'm gonna show you guys how to buy a car like the pros do, so you'll never ever go to a car dealership again and worry about whether you're buying a lemon, mechanical issues, or something that salvage vehicle or any of that stuff. So stick around. Now, if you can do me a favor and hit the like button and the subscribe button. All right, let's go. Let me show you guys how to buy a car like the pros. All right, so we're gonna open up all the doors because we're gonna go around the vehicle and we're gonna check all the panels, and I'm gonna show you what to look for, okay? But we're gonna start in the front. And so you wanna always check to see, when you look up in the hood, you see that tag up there, you wanna make sure that's from the factory and it's not, something that was rebuilt. Here also too, you wanna make sure that the VIN number to the vehicle is on here and it's the tag from the manufacturer. And so this tag should be on each panel. So that's one fender, there's one right there also. There should be one somewhere on the door. It's under there. You're gonna have one on the back door also, same place underneath. Going around, there's one under there also, and of course we know there's some underneath the door here. All right, so another thing we're gonna check to see if this thing's been painted. So normally whenever a vehicle has been repainted, most of the times, because they tape on the inside, you'll feel a tape line right here when you feel on it. Most guys use a paint meter to walk around the car and check for paint. That's something you can buy too, but that's kind of expensive. But you can also use a paint meter, or you can use your hands to check. You can also get a Carfax or AutoCheck and to see if the vehicle's been in an accident before, and that's just extra stuff that you can do. But yeah, you're gonna walk around, you're gonna check in here, you're gonna see if there's a paint line in here, because they normally tape it off in here whenever they're painting the vehicle. The same thing, just feel right here to see if you can feel the tape on the vehicle. So once you've realized that it's never been painted, then that's just one thing to click off your list. It's never been in an accident. You check the Carfax, you walked around, you make sure that it doesn't have any paint work, and so we're gonna go to the next thing. Now, one of the big things people underestimate when it comes to buying a vehicle is the tires. It can get pretty expensive because these tires can run anywhere from $200 to $300 per tire. So you want to make sure that you walk around the vehicle and that your tires, all four tires, are good. Now, to do a quick tire check, if you have like a penny, you would flip the penny upside down, and then if that you basically looking at the Lincoln, and you turn him upside down, and if you can see the head, then that means your tires are worn. So you want to make sure you check your tires, because you could save anywhere from $1,000. If you can get the dealer to replace the tires rather than you having to do that when you just bought the vehicle, you can save a lot of money. All right, so back under the hood, couple things real quick. The battery, if the battery is over 3 years, that's something you might want to have them replace. So just check the date on it. Most batteries have date on them, so you'll see if it's been over 3 years. Your fluids, which is your brake and your coolant, check the levels on those. A big thing that you want to always check is your oil. The dipstick is back there, so it's kind of hard for me to pull it out with the phone. So just pull that out, and you can also, the cap right here, the oil cap, you can take that off, and you can look to see if it has any milky look inside there, because a lot of times, now if you a couple things you want to check for with the oil. You can check to see if the oil is really dark. If it is, then they need to go ahead and replace it. But if it has a milky look, you might have a bad engine, right? So pay attention to that. You know, always check the oil stick. If you open this cap right here and it has a milky look, or on the stick, if it look milky at all, you might have a bad engine. So I would walk away from the vehicle if you see that, right? So that's a red flag. Now, this is also important. You know how when you go to the dealership and the salesman is being really nice and he decide that he's going to pull the car up for you up front so you can, you know, walk out and check it out. You say, you know, just relax. It's too hot outside. I don't need you to come with me. I'll go outside and pull it up for you. You do not want the salesperson to do that, okay? And this is the reason why. You want to make sure you start that car on a cold start, right? So if the car's been sitting there, you want to know what that car sound like when you start it initially, right? And so normally when you go in the vehicle and you start that vehicle up, there's a couple things you can listen for. If you hear like a initial knock or something like that, or you know, or it may sound a little bit sluggish, or if it sound a little bit weak, you know, there's a couple things that could be wrong. Like it could be where you may need a starter because it's taking a while to start, or that car may need a jump, right? And so the salesman might brought a jump box with him, and he might have jumped that vehicle and you didn't know. So you want to make sure you go with the salesman and make sure that you went out there and you start that car yourself. You want to listen to see if you hear maybe the vehicle's been knocking, you know, and it might have an initial knock that it's not gonna do when the car is running perfect, you know. So if you bring it around and it's running, you're not gonna hear it. Or if it has a miss or something like that. So you want to make sure you get out there and you crank it yourself, so you can listen, you know, to see what it sounds like when you start that car initially. So let's close these doors, and we're gonna take it for a little test drive. And there's a couple things that you should look for when you're test driving a vehicle. So couple gauges we want to check. Right there, the oil, you have your oil, and you have your hot and cold. That's the one that you really need to focus on when you're driving, that one there. And so especially on older cars, you want to make sure that that your vehicle is not overheating, because you don't want to start off, you know, you just bought this car and you already have problems because your car is overheating. Sometimes people overlook that too. So you want to watch that needle right there when you're going to test drive. And so sit in the car, let it run for a little bit, check it out, look around, let it warm up. Same thing with your transmission. You want to make sure when you get in the car, you let it run for a little before you just start off on driving it, because when the transmission warm up, then, you know, if there's something wrong with it, then it's going to start slipping. So a couple things we're going to check for. You want to make sure that it's shifting gear properly. So you want to get out there on the road and you want to listen. It's changing into first gear. Let me put on my seatbelt so that thing stop making noise. So you want to listen to make sure that it's changing gears right. Yeah, first gear. And so if you're looking at that needle right there, overheat, to make sure that that's not overheating. And make sure that it's changing gear properly and that the engine is not knocking. So those are just a couple of the main stuff that we worry about. So you worry about the engine, the transmission. Those are the major stuff that you should normally check for to make sure this vehicle sounds good. I mean, of course, it's brand new, so it's not gonna have any issues. But those are just some of the things that you can check for when you're buying a vehicle. And so that alone will eliminate half your issues when you go to the dealership to try and buy a vehicle. So to recap, we talked about you're checking your paint, checking your tires, you check under the hood, you check your fluid, you check your oil, and then you check for transmission, you check for engine to make sure that the vehicle is driving properly. And so if you can check those things out before you buy the vehicle, and then you can go ahead and take it to your mechanic if you want to, just so you get a second opinion. But just that alone will give you a head start in helping you buy car like a pro. And like I said, guys, don't forget to drop a like, leave a comment if you want to also maybe drop a few more things that I might have missed. I love to hear other people's opinions, so you can share your opinion in the comment. And so thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks.